Hello, this is That Talking Podcast. I'm JJ Starr.
And I'm Downtown Andy.
Welcome. How are you, Andy?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing just great. We had a nice little Tuesday night together.
Oh, we certainly did.
We did.
It's not over yet.
No, it's not over yet, but now we're on to the working part of it.
Nice leisurely ride on the motorcycle.
Very nice. Take a ride around the lake.
Oh yeah.
As the sun sets.
That's the whole reason I got it in the first place.
It was very nice. Today was fantastic too because it was like perfect weather for it. Perfect weather. We barely wanted to come home. But we had to come home.
Yeah, we had to do this podcast.
We eventually had to come home to do the podcast. But it's good. And here we are.
Yep.
So welcome, everyone. Thanks for dropping by and listening to us talk to each other. For those of you new to listening to us, we have some rules here at That Talking Podcast. Some simple rules. Rule number 1 is no judgment. We are not here to change each other's opinions. We're not even here to change anybody's opinions.
We have our own opinions on many different things, and we respect the right to have those opinions.
Absolutely. No matter what. Mm-hmm. No matter what. We have a lot of unpopular opinions, I think. I think we have a lot of unpopular opinions.
I'd actually at some point like to unpack your opinion on the story you posted earlier.
We can do that.
Because, we I know you have your opinion, I have mine, but it all kind of comes full circle to, more or less the same opinion.
Yes.
So.
But yes, so rule number 1 is no judgment. All opinions matter. All opinions count. You don't have to agree with it. We don't have to agree with each other, but we do have to allow each other to have those opinions.
And no hypocrisy either. You can't say, oh, all opinions matter, but then in certain cases, some do and some don't. That's
Absolutely
not cool.
Absolutely.
So rule number 2, nothing personal.
Nothing.
And
no low blows.
That doesn't mean we're not, reading you our John Deere letter. It's, nothing personal.
No, nothing personal.
No low blows.
Exactly.
No cheap shots.
Because
no insinuation of, ulterior motive.
Exactly. And that's just it, is that we are married. We have to live with each other afterwards and everything. And I think that, people have a tendency that if you disagree with them, they're good. It's basically like a so's your mom situation.
Yeah, it becomes a free for all.
Yeah, and we don't do that. We are not here for that.
We just naturally don't go that route because it's not in our. We're just not that kind of people. That kind of couple. We're not those people that would do something like that, and we try and encourage people not to be. To resort to that.
That's just it. While we are not here to change people's opinions or color anybody's, beliefs or anything like that, we are hoping that eventually maybe the whole idea of civility will start to rub off on people. We've had some downloads,
You and I have
people other than us have listened to this.
Hoping for that for, quite a long time now, and I'd like to think in some small degree it's worked. But
you gotta hold on to hope.
Yeah.
Yeah. So rule number 1, no judgment. Rule number 2, nothing personal. And of course, the pinnacle of all rules, the rule of rules, rule number 3.
Don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick. Simple as that. And what do we mean by that? No interruptions. No interruptions, no vetoes, no changing the subject, this is a conversation. It's going to go sideways at some point, but we're going to try and keep it on track.
Because what do we love so much? We love venting. We love
the sound of our own voices.
Not even that. I always feel better when I've unloaded. It doesn't matter what it is or who it's to. We literally just did it an hour ago.
Yeah, I'm familiar with your unloading.
Wow.
I am. But
Get the kids out of the room now.
Listen, it's got a warning on it.
Yeah.
Listen, not to go blue or anything, but you and I come home after a day, and we vent.
Real quick.
And then we're done.
If the kids are anything like we were at that age, they're going to be listening to this no matter what.
Oh, yeah. And if the parents are anything like we were at that age, they're not going to give a shit about that explicit sticker on it.
Oh, man.
But yeah, so...
Let's dive right in. You wanted to talk about leisure.
Yes, we are here to talk. And yeah, you know, taking that nice ride today around the lake and, you know, sort of having the day, because I don't go to work on Tuesdays. And it's been insinuated that on days when I am home, that I am like a lady of leisure. I'm not. But you know, I mean, we've thought about that because I don't want to say we've had arguments about what is the appropriate way to spend one's days off and one's downtime, because we do have vastly different ideas of what we do with that time off.
I will admit right here and now, with anyone who's listening, that I have had to condition myself to be okay with the fact that days off don't have to be spent doing 1,000,001 chores or constantly exerting yourself, because prior to that, I was conditioned to always feel like I could never do enough.
Yeah.
No free time was to be used for leisure, or not even that it was not to be used for leisure, but more was expected of me during my leisure time.
I feel like I can understand that. I absolutely understand that, but I think that I want to believe that I'm not alone in this, and I really don't think I am. That I want to say that over the last several years of my life, I have seen just an influx of normalizing downtime, of normalizing the idea that, you know, like the hustle is not everything, period. It's just not. It doesn't have to be.
It was an awful way to live.
Yeah.
It was an awful thing to have to come home to, and kind of the perpetual walking on eggshells.
Yeah.
And again, I've conditioned myself to take more of your perspective with it, because even in the back of my mind over the last 2 years, I thought to myself, oh my God, there's going to be that one day where she comes to me and says, like, why didn't this get done? And what are you doing? And why aren't you? And then I have to remind myself that you're you and not somebody else.
Yeah.
And that it's okay to just spend a day taking care of yourself, which I essentially was not allowed to do prior to this.
However, you have, as my husband, you have on more than one occasion, you know, pointed out to me the idea that you believe that I could do more.
It's not even just you. I harbor this feeling that everybody could do more because of what I've been exposed to. I have been exposed to so many people who always imply that I can and should be doing more with what I have.
I think that's terrible.
And, you know, a lot of times the job that I would do, regardless of what it was, would be criticized to no end because it wasn't to the expected standards of whoever implied that I should be doing more with my leisure time.
That's stupid.
You have taught me that there's nothing wrong with reserving your leisure time for yourself.
Yes.
And that's the perspective I take on it now.
I'm not a big proponent of, you know, why do today what you can do tomorrow kind of a thing. I'm not a procrastinator. I have been, you know, you talk about how you've been conditioned by people. I have been conditioned by people to truly believe that, you know, what everyone wants to call self-care nowadays is selfish. That the idea of taking time to reset yourself and to restore yourself is in fact selfish. So it's not even that I will push myself that I will push myself past the point of taking care of myself. I will take care of myself and I will take that leisure time for myself, but I will also feel guilty about doing it.
Well, honestly, that was my perspective in the beginning of our marriage. You changed my mind.
Well, I think that that's lovely. Thank you.
Just for the listeners, excuse me for interrupting. It's not like she doesn't do anything. She actually does quite a bit. I just don't see all of it.
Thank you. I also don't, I've never been one to call attention. I mean, this was part of something that we were talking about earlier today. I am not one to call attention to the things that I do just because I do
No,
them.
I'll call attention to the things that you do.
You call attention to the things that you do also.
Well, why don't you take this time to let the audience know what your sole interests are that you spend your leisure time indulging in?
I mean, I spend as much of my downtime doing absolutely nothing
But get
as I
specific.
can.
What this is something I ask people all the time because I'm genuinely curious. What are your interests? What are your hobbies? What gets you excited? What makes you happy?
See,
What
and
is something you can never get tired of doing?
that's just it, is that it's weird. Like, I will answer that question, but it is odd to me to refer to it as a hobby. Because people have asked me for years, what do you do for fun? And I'm like, I don't fucking know. I don't know what I do for fun because I feel like I really don't do anything for fun. I do things because I enjoy them. I read a
Well,
lot.
that's it. That's
Yeah.
where,
Yeah,
this.
I read a lot. I enjoy reading. I enjoy, I enjoy soaking in a hot tub. I enjoy looking at the birds outside. And, I just enjoy being able to relax. I enjoy R&R, period. I just do. And when I have a day off where I legitimately don't have anything going on, no work, no appointments, no doctors, no shrinks, no nothing. It is hard sometimes, honestly, to even do some of those things because I am so wound up and I am chronically ill. And it is one of those things that not everybody understands, but like there are some mornings that I wake up and despite having the energy to do stuff, putting my mind into action to really do it. Like I have a stack of books sitting right next to me right now. You do too. But I have a stack of books sitting right next to me that I could just as easily just roll over, grab, open up and start reading. And I could spend hours doing that, but even that sometimes is just sort of like, ugh, I don't know. I don't know if it's necessarily that I've lost interest in things because I don't think it is. I think
certainly have.
You've lost interest in things?
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, why?
Age, not being able to do them with another person. I mean, you've seen me sitting here on my phone many a times playing my favorite games, but that's because of the fact that being able to do it with another person in person is not always readily available. And that's upsetting to me because I don't want to have to play games on the internet. I prefer to have that interaction where you can talk to somebody, where you can just bullshit about anything while you're doing what you enjoy. Because, that is way more entertaining to me than sitting here with my, face buried in my phone.
At the same time, ironically, I think that of the two of us, you spend way more time on your phone than I do. My whole life as an artist and as a creative is online. It's all on social media. It's all on websites and everything. I'm out there doing as much as I can, but even that has fallen off because it's such an energy suck some days. And I don't want to. I don't want to be on my phone. I truly don't. I mean, I've said for years, people have asked me, like, did you see this tweet? Did you see this? Did you see this? Oh, you followed this one, right? It's like, trust me, I didn't fucking see it.
I just started muting everything because my phone constantly going off just got so annoying. Chats with my bands, chats with my family, chats with groups of coworkers or friends or whatever it happens to be, and that's why I'm so attached to the phone. Because as you've noticed, I've taken my hobbies and essentially turned them into businesses.
See, and excuse me for interrupting, but that's exactly why I have a hard time telling people when they ask me what I do for fun. I don't do stuff for fun. I do stuff to make money. I do stuff for
that's
work.
just it. The things I'm most knowledgeable about are the things that I treat as hobbies.
Yeah.
So I've, over the last 10 to 15 years, turned them into business because people would always say to me, why would you buy something if you're just going to sell it? And I say to them, because the things that I buy for myself still retain enough of a value to where I can make some money if I sell it. And then that finances the next purchase and the next purchase, and it just keeps going. I never take a hit. So I always end up getting the things that I've always wanted, or at least getting to experience them for a short time on my way to the next thing that I've wanted to experience. And, that affords me a lot of opportunities that I probably wouldn't have had otherwise. But if I'm glued to the phone for such a long time, it's because I'm either communicating with people that aren't, so close by, or I'm making plans, with the band, scheduling gigs, scheduling practices, things of that sort.
Okay, here's a good question. Do you consider it downtime if you are in fact using it to be productive?
Because of the ways in which I've been conditioned by various people I've interacted with in my lifetime, I'm always trying to maximize everything, every bit of time that I have, every opportunity that I have, just always trying to make the most of every situation. Because that's personal fulfillment to me.
It's fulfilling?
Under certain circumstances, sure.
But do you, if you are spending all of this time being productive, are you in fact taking leisure time? I would go so far as to say no. I just don't. I will never understand people, including you. I will never understand the idea of, I have this time, I should be filling it with something. It's like people who tell me, people have told me for years now, people have told me that I'm doing vacations wrong. Apparently when you work, 40 to 60 hours a week and you take a vacation, what you are supposed to be doing is going somewhere where you can spend every waking minute of that time away from work doing things. I booked a trip to Aruba, and the travel agent says, "Why would you want to go there? There's nothing to do." No shit. I spent my whole fucking life doing things. My idea of a vacation is to stop doing them. I don't want to go somewhere that requires an itinerary.
See, now you know how much I value our Saturday mornings when we actually have them.
When we have them, yeah.
Because, you'll sleep in. I'll make sure the dog gets taken care of. You usually do.
Oh my God. Am I there for it? I don't remember the last time.
But we've had this conversation a lot of times where you're not entirely sure as to why Saturday is so important to me. For the record now, Saturday, at least for the majority of our lives, was always the day. No school, no work. You're home. You can go at your own pace, do what you need to do, when you want to do it, how you want to do it. Even when I was a kid, I would get up as early as I could possibly get up on Saturdays because I had to see all the cartoons.
Sure.
With the premiere episodes, I had to get my cereal, I had to get comfortable, and when Soul Train came on, it's like, okay, well, now what am I going to do?
See, and that's just it. When Soul Train came on, we were told to do chores. In my house, that was it. You got up as early as possible in my house so that you were the first to the TV. That's why we got up early.
But when doing the chores, did you do them in a Soul Train line?
I did not. I can't speak for the rest of the people in my house.
Oh, there's going to be a conversation between me and your mother and maybe your sister.
There's going to have to be now, because I think we're going to have to find... I'm sure there's a photo somewhere. I don't know. I remember what downtime used to be like. My leisure time, my weekends, if you will. But it was mostly cartoons in the morning, then chores, and then once that was done, my mom and dad would probably want to use the TV, so I would just go to my room and I would, teach my stuffed animals how to read. And then we're back to books. See, it comes full circle.
And getting back to our rules, there's nothing wrong with that. People have gotten mad at me for asking what their hobbies are, and again,
they don't have any.
Even watching TV could be a hobby, but I'm genuinely curious to know because I'm super excited to talk about my hobbies and the things I enjoy doing for fun.
When I tell people that I enjoy reading as much as I do, the first thing they ask me is, have you read A, B, and C? And they are always like bestseller contemporary fiction. And the fact of the matter is not only no, have I never read them, no, I don't want to. I would rather read, if I'm going to read fiction, first of all, it's going to be at least 200 years old. But you put someone's memoir in front of me, someone whose life I'm truly interested in, and I will snatch that right up and enjoy the shit out of it.
And that is where you and I have yet another thing in common. From as early as kindergarten, I've always been interested in people's lives. So much so that, we had the quote unquote library class on Tuesdays. We'd go to the library, we'd take home a book.
Yeah.
And I always went for the biographies. Everyone else was going for whatever was geared towards our age at the time. And they had a whole biography section because at the time my dad was watching A&E Biography every night. And so that was what propelled me to do that because, and to this day, you see me Wikipediaing every actor in every show or IMDbing because I want to know who they are, where they're from, when they were born, when they died.
You do love that
what
rabbit
else,
hole.
What else they've been in.
You do love that rabbit hole.
I get lost in it so often because...
But I can't get you to read a book.
Because people's lives interest me. I can't really explain it any better than that. It's just something that excites me to... I say this... I don't know if I say this to people as much as I say it to myself, but a lot of people that I look up in that manner, I'm more interested in the person than the characters they portray.
Yeah. And I, more often than not, couldn't care less. I will sit here and let you talk at me about things that I, one, don't understand. I really don't have that much interest in. And I sort of will sometimes, I admit, let you talk in the hopes that eventually something will catch me. And every once in a while it does. Every once in a while you do something or you say something that I find intrinsically fascinating for one reason or another, and I am suddenly hooked.
We both do that. Yet another thing we have in common. It's probably why we work so well together.
It's still going.
Still going strong.
But you've mentioned losing interest in things. Have you gained interest? Have you gleaned new interest?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, like what?
Like competitive Yu-Gi-Oh!
But is that an interest that you have gained? Because it seems like you've always sort of had it.
You remember how long I had said to myself, man, I'd really love to get back into going and playing with other people. But there's a really competitive scene behind it. And I played with friends until I realized there was this scene. And it's basically it's a money game now. People are playing for money and prizes and things of that nature. So it's not so much about the game itself anymore as it is about what you can make off of it. And so I took a nice long break because that's not the kind of game I want to be playing. And I missed it to the point because, I really got a kick out of interacting with people I'd never met before, doing this thing that I've always loved.
And you've been enjoying it. I mean,
I don't like losing all the time, but I still take a lot of enjoyment in the nostalgia of it.
And being around people who do share that interest. I mean, you and I have played Yu-Gi-Oh! Together.
Yes.
And you and I play in such a way that it is really not competitive.
I've told you a million times, not even just with Yu-Gi-Oh! Any other game that we've ever played, I don't care if I win. I don't have to win. I don't have to beat you. I don't have to show how good I am. Just the one-on-one doing it, that's what I'm interested in. A lot of people think, well, I'm not going to bother going if this person who can afford $1,000 deck is just going to keep killing me every week.
Yeah.
And I understand that. I've tried very hard to orchestrate casual nights to no success because a lot of people are just so hooked on the money aspect of it now.
That's a lot of it. I mean, people really these days, and I think this goes hand in hand with what we've been talking about the whole time, is the idea that people don't see the benefit of doing things for enjoyment, especially if there's no money involved. Mm-hmm. If there's no payout in the end, why bother? Which is why I think people like me tend to get criticized for not wanting to do a lot of things. I would rather enjoy my peaceful time being peaceful. I'd rather keep it peaceful because every other moment of my week is so hectic and it's so overwhelming sometimes and it's exhausting. It's exhausting to deal with people and responsibilities and everything. And I take the opportunity to enjoy myself as much as possible, and particularly when days are hard. I've become very good at identifying what will fulfill me. I have done a lot of work on my own self-awareness to be able to get to a point where I refuse, and I guess in the same vein as life is short, but I have gotten myself to a point where I do not see the reason behind wasting time on things that do not spark joy. And that is why, and I don't begrudge you or anybody else all of the things they want to do, but I am not. I mean, I'm old, and I'm a grown ass woman.
You're
and
only 40.
I have gotten to a point, yes, and since I turned 30, I got to a point where I realized that I do not have to do things just because other people like it.
Absolutely.
And the fact that it took me until I was 30, kind of pisses me off a little bit. But it hit and it stuck. And now, I don't succumb to any of that. I don't, like, even if you, my beloved husband, want to do something that I do not want to do, I will just say, no, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And
I've learned to accept that.
Exactly. And that's just it, is that you, unlike a lot of people that I have known and been involved with, will just go ahead and do it. Like, you are not going to sit here and say, well, if you're not going to do it, then I can't do it either. And then all of a sudden your life is pathetic because, it's based solely on whether or not I'm there to hold your hand.
On the flip side to that, I have a really hard time allowing myself to take interest in something that you want to do or want to show me until we're actually in the midst of it, because there have been, and I want to say this for the podcast, so many things that you have introduced me to that I say that I've gone into it blind because I wanted to go into certain things blind to see what my take on it would be. There have been concerts, there have been movies, Broadway shows, things that you have planned for us to do on our leisure time off together, where I those are things that I constantly think back to when I'm alone in the truck driving along and think, that was awesome. Like, why can't I be doing that right now? Oh yeah, I'm working.
Do you ever think about the things that you really did not enjoy?
Such as?
As taking you to all of the
Shadowcast?
Yeah, like the Rocky Horror Shadowcast.
Listen.
Or the live interpretation of The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, or any of those movies that
wasn't bad.
You have slept right through.
The live interpretation wasn't bad. The only reason I didn't like the Shadowcast is because people directly behind me were yelling in my ear.
That's what they do.
But they were directly behind us.
Do.
And you want to tell them about how I've fallen asleep at the things that I've taken us to?
If there is a stage or a screen involved, I cannot. I mean, even you used to fall asleep when we would watch movies on the sofa. Movies that you put on.
I know.
Movies that you selected. And was like, hey, I got an idea. Let's watch this movie. And then just start snoring. Only nowadays, now you snore with your eyes wide open.
All right, we might have to make this a two-parter.
No, we're gonna cut this down and everything. Yeah,
because I like a lot of what we've.
Yeah, we're gonna cut this down to keep it on point. But yeah,
well, that was a good talk.
That was a good talk. I feel like I think we understand each other really well.
Well, we knew that.
I mean, yeah, but
now our listeners do.
Yeah.
Because
this is I think to some a really weird glimpse through the peephole of our lives.
I mean, you and I are open books.
We are.
You can take us or leave us, and
yeah.
To quote Walter Cronkite, that's the way it is.
Literally no regrets at all. Like, we
You are an English major, yes?
Several degrees in English, yeah.
Questions, comments, suggestions, anything you can think of. Like, comment, share, subscribe.
Absolutely. And tell all your friends.
Do everything you can. Help us grow this podcast, because the more you help us, the more content we can put out for you guys.
And the less we have to go to work. Thank you for listening to That Talking Podcast. This has been a real blast. We are on social media. Find us on Instagram at DTAndy and JJ Star. Find us on TikTok and YouTube.
Most importantly, tell your significant other, because we have facilitated a conversation as a married couple. Hopefully this will allow you to facilitate conversations with your significant others and open up the dialogue for more meaningful things to come.
And more civil conversation, please. Let's all keep it civil, because that's what we're here for. We're here to spread the word that you can talk about whatever you want to talk about in a nice way. Mm-hmm. You can disagree in a nice way.
We didn't slit each other's throats, or
not this time. Not this time. But there will be more coming. Thank you to Downtown Andy for the guide for the use of our theme song. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you to JJ Star for doing the editing, because God knows I would do a piss poor job.
Thank you to everyone else for listening. And until next time, I'm JJ Star.
And I'm Downtown Andy.
And we'll talk to you later.